Self-development with tactics.
But every change comes with something familiar, because we often go through the same things. We often then experience the same things, at least in the end we notice. But yeah, therefore we're going to go through some Reddit things, and it's going to be one good thing, one good list, which is how to control your anger like a stoic, which is by nobody1377 18 hours ago. And it even got an award, as I see there, I think, not quite sure. But the first thing, identify the costs of anger. And this is indeed something very important for me, because it is something that I've always neglected. It is something that I've, quite never paid attention to, but it is very, very, very important. Every time one hits somebody else out of anger or does something else out of anger that shouldn't be done, whether it is something, by law you shouldn't be doing it, or it is just not good for you and your relationship afterwards, after you've gotten angry, after you've just lost your temper, that we identify things or we see things that, are not good. Thinking about the things that might happen, the costs that you're gonna have when you're about to get angry is very, very, very crucial. At my point of view, we often, in our rage, when we are losing our temper, we do not think, we stop thinking. I'd actually say that meditation might be helping there, to actually see this anger coming. At least it really did it for me through meditation, even though I gotta be honest, I haven't been meditating as I should and as I actually would like to be doing it for the past, I'd actually say a month, to be honest, to really also be honest with myself. But I still have the ability to see my emotions coming and notice when I'm just starting to boil quite, like a fucking kettle. Incredibly, incredibly important for me, seeing this emotion, noticing it, and also being able to name it. Obviously, it can be so many things. I'm noticing something, I'm feeling a certain way. Okay, this is anger. Okay, what is happening right now? What is going on in my world? What is going on in my life? Maybe I have to tweak a few things, maybe I have to get out of the situation. Maybe I have to just go somewhere else. Maybe I have to talk to a certain person. Maybe just changing something is always going to be good, because obviously when you're feeling like the anger is coming, something is wrong, or you should be changing just something. The question always is, what is it that you have to change? What is it that you have to be doing? The second thing, identify what is in your control. This is an overall just stoic thing, what is in your control, what is outside of your control. And I wouldn't necessarily say that it is pretty good for anger. When I'm getting angry, and the problem with anger in general is that we stop thinking. We just stop thinking. We don't necessarily think about the things we are in control of, but most often afterwards, which is why I think it is incredibly important to get into the situation, just getting angry, but then really practicing to shut it down and start thinking again, which is going to reduce costs, which is going to minimize costs, of anger, which are or can be horrible. But then also noticing what is in your control and why it is actually pretty unnecessary that you are getting angry at this point in time, because if you notice, this is not in my control. If I'm getting angry, I'm not going to be able to change anything about whatever I'm getting angry of or because of. You maybe start thinking a bit more and realize, why? Just why? And then you're going to calm down, and then you're going to be able to really get out of this situation quite quickly, I would say. The third, accept that there are going to be stupid people. But this obviously is out of your control. You can't control the people. You can't control how they deal with you, what they say, what they do, whatever. You just have to live with them, and you just really have to see that maybe that they're stupid. But I think in general, just reminding yourself of the fact that you're not in control of other people is always going to put you in a position of, okay, this person did that, this person did this. Well, it is what it is. I can't change it anyway. So I'm going to live with it, and I'm going to be able to deal with it in a certain way, in a way better way than without realizing that, I can't just do anything about it. Don't get upset in advance. Well, it's just unnecessary. Pretty quick, easy point. Like, no, which is, we often do think about the future in a certain way that in the end is like, why? You don't know what the future is going to be like. Of course, minimizing potential downsides in the future is always going to be good, and it's always going to be advocable. It's always going to be great that one does that. But unnecessary emotional outbursts when thinking about the future, this is unnecessary because you can't change the future, At least, well, you can do something today that is going to change the future, but maybe something is going to happen, the chance is always there that you're going to be struck by fucking lightning. It is what it is, It is what it is, Sometimes actually realizing that one is not in control of everything can also be pretty pleasing, I would say, because it makes things way less serious, as I think one should really deal with life in general. Like, why do we always have to be so serious? Why do we always have to be so incredibly serious about life? Like, always, we're always doing that. We human beings, we are always so goddamn serious. Anyway, let go of the past. Well, which is, I think, the same way or the same thing as the fourth one, which is don't get upset in advance, but just the other way around, and or just into the other direction. Like, you can either go into the future and or you can go into the past, but going into the past is as unnecessary as going into the future is, But, well, it is actually even more unnecessary than going into the future, because at least you can alter the future. You can change the future to some degree, to some bit, You can at least have an effect on it. But the past is the past. It already happened, You already have fucked up this one thing. You've already said this one thing. Whatever it might be about, you can't change the past. You can also, or only, learn to live with it. And that is quite it. We can't do much more about it. The seventh and last, the sixth one is get physical exercise. Or get physical/exercise. Incredibly important. I do not necessarily see the thing that it has to do with anger. I've been working out for so long that I couldn't even say that it is helping me with my anger. But I think, first of all, it's just healthy. Second of all, it is healthy. And third of all, it is fucking healthy. Physically and mentally. The mental upsides and the mental benefits of working out is actually one of the things that really struck me in the past month, I'd say, when I really felt down and really felt like just doing nothing and hating everything. The two things that really helped me, and the two things of which after which I've always been feeling really good, was first of all exercise. The first time of the day where I really, really felt good and felt like I can just do anything. And the second time was cold showering, which obviously has something to do with hormones and actually endorphins and so on and so forth, which your body produces because of exercising and also because of the shock of having a cold shower. And the seventh one, I do actually want to... So in terms of exercise, they say, from the webmd.com site, when you exercise, your body releases chemicals called endorphins. These endorphins interact with the receptors in your brain that reduce your perception of pain. Endorphins also trigger positive feeling in the body, similar to that of morphine. Insane. I can now understand why people take morphines or morphine. Isn't morphine like an opioid or something? Actually, not quite sure. Cold shower benefits for your health. The cold water sends many electrical impulses to your brain. They jolt your system to increase alertness, clarity, and energy levels. Endorphins, which are sometimes called happiness hormones, are also released. This effect leads to feelings of well-being and optimism, which is exactly what I'm feeling after working out and also after my cold shower, which is something to remember. something to think of when you're about to take a cold shower and or work out, especially when you don't feel like working out or especially when you don't feel like taking a cold shower, because it fucking sucks. It really does. It really, really, really does. But remembering, well, I am potentially gonna feel way better afterwards than I do now, makes it way more sensical and way more like, well, let's just do it anyways. Let's just push through it and do it. The 7th one is look for something to be grateful for, or something also to look forward to, which is one of the reasons why I am at this point in time trying to utilize playing games to feel better and to also be more productive and so on and so forth, because obviously there are some times of my day, and I've been able to figure them out quite well, in which I really am not that productive. Most often it is right after my lunch, I am pretty unproductive, but especially in the afternoon. Then in the evening, I just really get way more productive, but my most productive time is in the morning. And well, having something to look forward to, incredibly important, as also Viktor Frankl pointed out. And being grateful for something or journaling that, writing down something you're grateful for is gonna make you think about nothing else but this one thing that you're grateful for. When you're writing it down, when you're thinking about it, being grateful is quite a big thing and a beneficial thing. As they there point out, gratitude and emotional benefits makes us happier, increases psychological well-being, enhance our positive emotions, increase our self-esteem, keep suicidal thoughts and attempts at bay, make people like us, improve our romantic relationships, improve our friendships by, I think, saying it or communicating it, which is going to be obviously pretty cool for some people if you say, okay, I am really grateful that I'm having you. Gratitude boosts our ratio by helping us experience more positive emotions such as optimism, enthusiasm, love, joy, and happiness, while protecting us from the destructive emotions of envy, greed, bitterness, and resentment. Improve our self-esteem. Gratitude makes us aware of the good other people do for you. Through the power of gratitude, you can wire your brain to be optimistic and compassionate, making you feel good. The more you look, the more you can find to be grateful for. This positivity can extend to those around you, creating a virtuous cycle. But this time a good one, not a bad one, not as in so many other ways. But anyway, hope you've been able to learn something. See you the next time. Bye bye.